My video for September 30th, 2017 is entitled Putin's Russia Relentlessly Attacked by Deep State. When asked in 1932 about political and economic trends in Europe, Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, zeroed in on Russia, saying, quote, "Europe is a house broken up. Some years ago, there was the experience of a mighty peoples being overridden for the gratification and satisfaction of a few, irrespective of any other man's right. That peoples are going through the experience of being born again, and is the thorn in the flesh to many a political and financial nation in Europe, in the world." Question: what is the name of that nation referred to? Russia. That was from reading 3976-8. Then, in 1944, Cayce spoke of Russia's role in a coming time, quote, "In Russia, there comes the hope of the world, not as that sometimes termed of the communistic or Bolshevik, no, but freedom, freedom. That each man will live for his fellow man. The principle has been born. It will take years for it to be crystallized. But out of Russia comes again the hope of the world." Again, that was Edgar Cayce, reading number 3976-29. Of course, the deep state referred to in the title is the Illuminati criminal goal of a new world order. Russia alone has the ability to prevent that sick aspiration. Indeed, a lot of people in the Western world have been totally brainwashed and painted Russia as some kind of a demon. And as a communist nation, it certainly played the role of demonic activities in the murder of many, many innocent people by the tens and perhaps hundreds of thousands or even millions of Russians and people that lived in that, in what was then called the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union's history was under the Tsar. It actually played a role some generations previous in helping the United States become a free nation, believe it or not. And I'll go into that maybe, I don't think I'm going to go into that in this particular video, but in a future video, maybe the next one, maybe in a couple of days after that. But there's a tremendous history of Russia's involvement prior to the taking over by the deep state or the Illuminati. Now, the Illuminati, bear in mind, once again, the Illuminati is primarily a House of Rothschild. I don't want to say a creation because it existed before the House of Rothschild, but in our more modern generation, it's been the House of Rothschild, or what I've referred to again as the fake Jews. And some people don't like that, but that's the truth. They were not. They have no ties to ancient Israel whatsoever. They have no ties to Judaism whatsoever. They were a warlike people who chose to become Jewish when given the option of being either Christian or Muslim. They chose to become Jews and imported a whole bunch of rabbis and created a new face of Judaism that ultimately became the nation of Israel, etc. But Russia has been stopping the House of Rothschild and the Illuminati plan by actually helping militarily at the request of various Middle Eastern nations. They have gone in there and they've greatly hindered ISIS, which is a U.S. and British creation, mostly U.S. because the United States has taken over the military arm of the Illuminati. But folks, we need to understand that the Illuminati's game plan is not loving. It is total control. It is mass mind control. It is control of the economies. They want to rule the world. And they don't want to stop short of anything less than ruling of the world. And Russia today is standing in the gap and helping some of the countries that are trying to stand up to the American aggression. And Russia has developed some military capabilities that are superior to the Western world. And so they are a nation now to be reckoned with. They can't just be swept away. Under Hillary Clinton, if she had been elected, we would probably have already been at war. But at least I forgot. I was going to say at least Putin is stopping that. At least I can't remember our president's name. And it's laughable. Donald Trump, of course. I mean, I had a brain fart there, and I couldn't think of Donald Trump's name, but he has at least slowed down the attempted Third World War as being an overt war. The Third World War has been going on as a covert war all along, and we've never stopped that. I mean, it has been going on for 50, 60 years, since 70 years, since the end of the Second World War. We've been having a covert, what they would call a Cold War, and this House of Rothschild has been very instrumental in pushing forward that agenda. Again, they have the desire to rule the world. Russia is not trying to conquer other nations. They go into other nations at the request of those nations because of U.S. and to some extent British interference in their governments. They want to be free. And all people deserve to be free. All of us have a deep longing to actually be free, but we cannot be free as long as we continue the hatred and the warmongering attitudes. It's an attitude of the mind. When we stop thinking that we have to defeat other nations, then we can finally reach a place where perhaps we can listen to people and we can build bridges instead of walls. But the Khazarians, they want to build walls. They want to separate and ultimately take down the walls where they alone can be in control. There's no diversity, no distinctions. Freedom of religion is not allowed. In fact, religion itself is not allowed. Religion itself, of course, means to bind, as I keep on saying. But they don't want spirituality. They want look at the behavior of the elite establishment. They are pedophiles, folks. They are not loving people, and they breed their children. They train their children from youth to not have a conscience. They try to get the conscience to somehow disappear so that they don't do what is loving and right and good and kind. They're incapable of kindness because of the brainwashing. And Putin and Russia are examples of transformation. Are they perfect? Of course not. Of course not. Look what we're coming out of. But they have the possibility of actually bringing political and economic and military transformation in the world where we won't even need a military anymore, because we will finally learn to listen and be at peace with one another. As Edgar Cayce said, out of Russia comes the hope of the world. I believe that, folks. I believe that. I look to Putin as being a leader with a mission to restore sanity to an insane world. Thank you for listening, and namaste.